All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're just about ready to get things rolling today. Hold on one second. Does that work? Is that better? I think so. Okay, I think we're pretty much good to go here. Welcome everybody back again to another edition of my series of Come Hang Out live streams, where we just kind of hang out and talk about whatever comes to mind. Today we have episode number 120, Streams Lament. I don't know what it means either. You guys are welcome to speculate in the chat. Welcome everybody back to another stream. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen you guys. Of course, yesterday we didn't stream because we got a whole bunch of Ninjago news like right before I was getting ready to start streaming, which wasn't super great for the stream, but it was pretty good for everything else. Yeah, yesterday's Ninjago news was pretty major, so if you guys haven't seen that, I've made a whole bunch of videos about that already for season 16 stuff like posters and whatnot. Check out the videos when you have time. It's a pretty good poster, all things considered. So why don't we go ahead and go over our streaming schedule really quick before we continue with the stream. We stream Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time, and as always, I will provide you guys with daily updates. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream, I will let you guys know via my community tab as per usual. Thoughts on the season 16 poster? Looks fantastic if I do say so myself. Pretty cool looking poster. I actually went ahead and ordered a custom print of the poster online. That'll be here at some point next week, so I'm looking forward to getting that framed up on my wall. It's a really cool poster. I like it a lot. Seems like a lot of people are really enjoying this new poster, which is a good thing. The poster is super cool. Did I watch Moon Knight episode 4? I did. Not getting into spoilers here for those that haven't seen it just yet. The new Moon Knight episode is pretty wild. The last 20 minutes I was just kind of sitting there screaming at my TV, what is happening? Got pretty loud at 4 in the morning watching Moon Knight. So if you guys haven't seen the new Moon Knight, check it out. It's pretty cool. Waffle just opened the door. Hey, Waffle, can you get out of the room, okay? I think Waffle needs help. 1 second, guys. Hello, Waffle. Do you need help getting out of the room? I can assist you. Okay, go ahead. Bye. Bye, Waffle. Bye, Felicia. And I roll back to my computer. Okay, we're back. Waffle was just trying to get out of the room, my cat Waffle. But I let her out. She's good. I think she might have needed to use the bathroom. That's what a well-trained cat looks like. She asks politely if I could open the door for her. And yes, I can. Of course I can. What's Moon Knight? It's the most recent Marvel show. It's airing on Disney Plus right now. New episodes every Wednesday. I actually have something special planned for you guys on stream today. Surprise, surprise. I mentioned this in Monday's stream. We actually have ourselves a little bit of a tournament to do today. We're going to be doing another one of those, what is it? Bracket fight things on tiermaker.com. So we're going to get started with that in a couple of minutes here. Should be pretty enjoyable. I have that prepared for you guys today, so that's what we got going on in today's stream. What Pokemon would Waffle be? We always refer to her as a little raccoon, so is there a raccoon Pokemon? Zigzagoon, perhaps? Maybe Zigzagoon. I always call her Purugly, but then, you know, that's not really nice to Waffle, of course, but she's a gray cat, like Purugly is in the Pokemon series. The streams lament, well, I'm currently lamenting my own sanity, so, hey, you and me both. I appreciate that. Gives me someone to relate to. I feel like, especially nowadays, past couple of days rather, in the Ninjago community, it's been pretty hectic with all these new posters coming out and whatnot for the new season. Looking pretty cool. Let's see. I think the center crystal in the poster is the Season 3 Overlord Eye. Ooh, interesting. Have not heard that one before. Maybe. I could probably see that being the case, right? Hope Randy does not return. Me too. I didn't see Randy when I went on bracket fights earlier, so fingers crossed our good friend Randy decides to stay home. Fingers crossed he does not show up today. Like I said, we're going to be getting started on that bracket fight in a few minutes here. Did I see the new Thor Love and Thunder trailer? I did. Looks pretty enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the movie. I'm glad we finally saw something for it, and from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. I'm probably gonna go ahead and check that out when it comes out in the theaters. Is it a tournament bracket of all the Ninjago posters? No, but it actually does have something to do with the Ninjago poster. Hint, hint, the new Ninjago poster featuring a whole bunch of bad guys. Oh, there's your hint right there. Change picture to Skybound. You got it. Skybound sounds good to me. I like Skybound. What did I think of the Moon Knight episode? Haven't seen it yet. No one in my family is very interested. I thought the new Moon Knight episode was pretty crazy. I'd recommend staying clear of all spoilers going into this episode. It gets pretty hectic, so, you know, I thought it was enjoyable. It kind of melts your brain a little bit, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Yeah, check it out as soon as you can. And once again, guys, please no spoilers in the chat for those that haven't seen it. I would appreciate it. Really like the detail of having the OG weapons in the poster. Me too, especially with those crystallizations or whatever, the crystals around the golden weapons. What's the deal with that? What's going on? I don't know. Probably going to be doing a video within the next couple of days talking about what exactly these crystals are and what they can do. Apparently we're supposed to beware the crystals, so whatever they do, it's probably something bad. Probably something bad. I wonder if that has something to do with Vengestone. I don't know. I think a Lloyd season won't be bad. Don't know why everybody is scared for it. Yeah, I don't think this new season is going to be a Lloyd season. I mean, Lloyd may be the only ninja on the poster, but it's got to be a team season. Like, if this is going to be, like, the final Ninjago season or whatever, I don't know. I use the word final season very loosely, the words final season very loosely. It's probably going to be a team season. I just think Lloyd's on the poster just because, I don't know, couldn't really fit everybody on there. So, let's see. Where do I find the message to decode? Yeah, if you go on LEGO's website, there actually is a message to decode. It just translates to beware the crystals. And then if you get the message right, it shows an image or a poster of the new season or whatever. The same poster that we've seen already. But the way I found it was I took the poster and I brought it through a reverse Google image search because I could not find it on the LEGO website to save my existence. So I put it through a reverse Google search and I found the link to it just by doing that. So if you guys do that, you'll probably be able to find it. I could not find it on like the actual Ninjago section on lego.com. Not sure if anybody's had luck doing that, but I was not able to do it that way. Had to do the reverse image search or whatever. So yeah, that's how you can do it. Only the end of a chapter. Yeah, if anything, it's going to be the final story with like this group of ninja, the core 6-member team that we have right now, or at least what's left over because Nia kind of went bye-bye towards the end of Seabound. Maybe in 2023 we can get a new ninja team. I think that's the general theory that a lot of people are kind of siding with right now. So, always thought the golden weapons were connected to Lloyd, so if they're corrupted, what will happen to him? Hey, good thinking. Maybe Lloyd can go rogue at some point in Season 16. Who's to say? I imagine this season's going to be pretty crazy. So once again, no predictions are impossible. Ninjago is not an impossible series. Anything could happen. Trailer soon? Yeah, I mean, I would hope so, right? I mean, we saw the poster, surprisingly, just came out of nowhere. So I imagine the trailer, maybe even the set images are bound to come out pretty soon. Fingers crossed for that. I imagine we will get the set images before the end of the month. I'm predicting May 1st. That's when these Seabound set images came out, so maybe we're going to get it May 1st. I reckon we're going to be getting a trailer at some point here soon as well. So fingers crossed for all that kind of stuff. We have the poster. That's step one. Now, where's the rest of it, right? No, all things considered, the new poster is pretty cool. I'm glad we have something, right? With that being said, why don't we go ahead and switch things over to the tournament bracket that I have set up for you guys today. I think this could be a pretty fun time. With this bracket, there's a catch, and I will explain that right now. So this is the bracket that I have set up for you guys today. It's all, or not all the Ninjago bad guys, but a fair amount of Ninjago villains. This was one of the suggestions that you guys had mentioned back when we were planning out what brackets we wanted to do a couple of weeks ago. We got a whole bunch of Ninjago bad guys here, 32 in total. Now here's the catch. We're probably not going to be able to finish this today, so it will probably bleed over until tomorrow. It'll probably continue in tomorrow's stream. But yeah, we have ourselves a lovely tournament bracket here featuring a lot of Ninjago bad guys. Not every villain out there, but in celebration of the new Ninjago poster, basically presenting a whole bunch of returning bad guys, why don't we do a tournament bracket or whatever, focusing on Ninjago bad guys? Who will be the ultimate Ninjago baddie? Hey, look, it's Baby Lloyd. Yeah, there he is up there. He's actually in the second round. How about that? So we're going to be doing that in today's stream, voting on these bad guys, and then like I said, we're probably not going to get through this all today, so we will continue this in tomorrow's stream. So let's kick things off with the first round here. I love using this little matchup mode here, between Iron Baron and Crux. Yes, Iron Baron and Crux. Can never remember which time twin is which, but Iron Baron and Crux. That'll be the very first round that we begin with today. So let's go ahead and switch things over back to the chat for you guys, and I will get that poll set up. So we're just going to do who's better. Who's better? Who? We have Iron Baron and your boy Crux.
Father would not want you to do this, brother.
Oh, good lord. Thank you, Jose, for the 199. This is the 5th World Tournament. Yes, indeed. Based on which character would win in a fight? No, which character is better, I guess I'll say. I'm going to put that disclaimer in each question. Yeah, which character is better? Iron Baron or Crux? There we go. Who's better, Iron Baron or Crux? Thank you, Jose, for the 199. I appreciate it. We also have another 199 from Alden. Thank you very much, Alden, for the 199. Did I watch the Sonic 2 movie yet? Not yet. Not just yet. Been meaning to get my way over to the theater here for the past couple weeks. Have not been able to do so. Never really had time. So yeah, I hope to watch Sonic 2 eventually. At this point, I might just wait for the Blu-ray. I might just wait for the Blu-ray release of the new Sonic movie. Same deal with Morbius, but if I see it in the theater, I'll see it in the theater. I'll try my best. Thank you, Alden, for the 199. I appreciate it. So, just tuned into the stream. What I missed this time, we are doing a villain bracket tournament thing. And right now in the first round, we are voting as to which is the better character, Iron Baron or Crux. These are the first two contenders in this lovely tournament. And it seems like Crux has already overthrown the Iron Baron. Crux has a pretty solid lead over the Iron Baron. Not super surprising, considering how the Iron Baron is probably one of Ninjago's worst bad guys, in my humble opinion, of course. Not sure how you guys feel about the Iron Baron guy. So, let's see. I want candy, not vegetables. Yeah, I heard Sonic 2 was pretty good. Everybody that I've talked to that has seen Sonic 2, they say it's fantastic. I just haven't seen it yet. I'm not really a Sonic guy, but I do want to check it out because I enjoyed the first movie. I thought the first movie was enjoyable. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and end off the poll here? It seems like Crux has a pretty easy lead over your boy, the Iron Baron. Not surprising there. It was an 80-20 split. So going back to our lovely bracket, the winner of the first round is Crux. There we go. Good job, Crux. Iron Baron has been eliminated. Next up, we have a battle between Chen and Young Lloyd. Oh, good lord. All right, we have Chen versus Young Lloyd. That'll be the next battle that we do here. Chen versus Young Lloyd. Now, like I said, Lloyd is not a bad guy, but hey, Young Lloyd, he was technically. So why don't we go ahead and get that rolling here. Who is better? We got ourselves Chen or Baby Lloyd. There we go. Feel free to take a vote. We also had a $2 donation from Lizzie. Thank you very much, Lizzie, for the $2. Third donation, lol. Thank you very much, Lizzie, for the two bones. I appreciate that. Cursed Woo has been unlocked 3 times today. The stream train or whatever people call it is chugging along. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, who's the better bad guy? We got Master Chen or Baby Lloyd. Yeah, truth be told, Baby Lloyd, he was pretty funny, but I don't know if he did a good job as a bad guy, to be fair. You know? Favorite Chen line, mine's Klausy Klaus. That one's pretty good. I also really enjoy whenever he talks about buttons, obviously. Chen just has a lot of like maniacal moments where he just kind of laughs. I think Chen's laugh might be his best feature. Lloyd's annoying as a child. Yeah, I can see that. He kind of caused a lot of trouble for the ninjas back when he was still living at the Bounty, when he was in that awkward process of transitioning from wannabe bad guy to to ninja, I guess you could say. That was kind of an awkward transition for the guy. A big deal for the big snake. Yeah, Chen was not very supportive when Klaus's beloved pet was crushed by a rock, was he? He was like, oh, who cares? Moving on. Oh, man, your pet died. Oh, no. Anyway, here's what I got going on. I think I can turn us into snakes, dude. How do you like that? And Klaus is like, I should have sided with Garmadon. That's what he should have done. So it seems like Master Chen has won the poll. Hey, Master Chen. I like Chen. Chen's one of my favorite bad guys for sure. I appreciate a good Master Chen every now and then. And it seems like he has bested Baby Lloyd in the villain poll. So going back to our lovely bracket, let's bump up our good friend Master Chen. There we go. So we got Crux and Master Chen both have won their first round. Moving on to this corner over here, this battle, this bout, if you will. We have the Overlord versus Mr. E. Couple of fan favorite bad guys there. The Overlord versus Mr. E. Interesting. Who's going to win this round? Let us see. Why don't we set up the poll here? Give me 1 second, folks. Who's better? We have ourselves the Overlord or Mr. E. Let's see how this battle goes. Feel free to cast your vote in the chat. Has that homeschooling ad reappeared yet? Thankfully, no. We haven't seen that just yet, and knock on wood, we continue to not see it. Season 13 pictures? Sure. You got it. Sounds good to me. Master of the Mountain. Sounds good. And excuse me while I take a quick sip of today's beverage. As I've said, not sponsored, but today we have ourselves a Mountain Dew because I need caffeine. So that's what we got going on today. There we go. Typed into the website, but no poster. That's interesting. I wonder if they moved the poster or took it down, perhaps. I'm going to have to check that later just to see. I want to see Randy. I don't want to see Randy. Randy's kind of annoying. I'm not missing him so far. Is Moon Knight episode 4 wild? Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like I said earlier, I was just kind of screaming at my TV. Like, what is happening? It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool episode, though. You guys should watch it if you haven't seen it. Let's see. Yes, both characters with scary eyes and no motive. I mean, the Overlord, by definition, is kind of like your stereotypical bad guy. But that's why we love him, right? He's short, simple, to the point. He's like, hey, I'm bad. Everyone sucks. I want to kill everyone. It's like, all right. Good deal, Overlord. Not too bad there. Not a bad motive for you. And then, of course, Mr. E, who I wish we got more backstory for. Fingers crossed in Season 16, Mr. E comes back, gets explained a little bit better. I'm hoping they reveal him to be Echo Zane. That could be fantastic. The original reveal, but done now. So, I think he's boring. Yeah, I can see why the Overlord is boring to a lot of people. I've just always been fascinated with, like, the backstory, the final battle, the Overlord, first Spinjitzu Master stuff. I've always been kind of fascinated in that history. Part of the reason why I love Ninjago was just because of the history and all of the backstory, the lore surrounding this world, and the Overlord's a big part of that. So for me, it's kind of hard not to like the Overlord, but I can see why people don't really care for him too much. With that being said, though, it seems like the Overlord has bested Mr. E. So why don't we go ahead and end off that poll. There we go. The Overlord has won with a 63-36 split. There you go, reversed numbers. Going back to our bracket then. Where are you? There you are. The Overlord will get bumped up to the next round. There we go. Bested Mr. E. Both really good characters, I must say. Overlord, Mr. E, in my opinion, they're both really good. Moving on over here to this side of the tournament, we have ourselves a battle between Master Yang and Pythor P. Chumsworth, our favorite purple snake man. We got Master Yang versus Pythor. That'll be the next battle that we've decided on here. Yang versus Pythor. I know who I'm voting for. Who's better? We have ourselves Master Yang. I'm just going to say Yang for simplicity's sake. You guys know who I'm talking about. And Pythor, recently making his return in the Season 16 poster. Excellent stuff there. Kind of a long neck this go around. Does Pythor have a longer neck to you guys? Does anybody else see that, or is it just me hallucinating? Is Harumi on the poster? Where is she? Some people have said that they've seen Harumi, I think, next to Mr. E, but I still don't see her, to be honest with you. I've tried looking at that poster over and over again, have not spotted Harumi. I just don't think she's in that poster, to be real. Fire Skull, thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah, Pythor versus Master Yang. Oh gee, I wonder who's gonna win this one. It's not like Pythor has already defeated Master Yang in the span of seconds there. Yeah, Pythor is by far the better character here. I appreciate Pythor a lot more than Master Yang. I don't like Yang. I think he has a lot of untapped potential personally, but Pythor, yeah, he's the better character all around. I agree with you guys. In fact, why don't we go ahead and end off the poll there? It seems like Pythor won. I doubt all 6 of the Master Yang stands are going to come out of nowhere and vote for him. So why don't we go ahead and end off Pythor, or the poll with Pythor winning. And thank you, Gibtron, for the subscription. Pythor and Yang. Yeah, Pythor won. All right, good stuff. Moving back to our bracket then, let's bump up Purple Snake Man with the super long neck. Ooh, look at that next battle, huh? Looking forward to that one. Chen versus Pythor. All right, thank you, Randomizer. Yeah, like I said, all of these have been decided via randomizer. So, that's what we got going on here. Next round, who do we got? Unagami versus General Kozu. Unagami versus Kozu. Interesting bout there. Wonder how that's going to go. These two bad guys for me are kind of on the same caliber, going to be honest. Not really super crazy about either of these guys. They're both cool in their own way. But I'm not sure who I would vote for here. We got Unagami versus Kozu, right? That's what I said, Kozu? Unagami, Kozu. All right, take a vote. Part of me kind of wants to vote for Kozu because, like I said, I do appreciate the final battle arc of Ninjago, and Kozu is kind of a big part of that. He's the general of the Stone Army, so part of me thinks I'd vote for Kozu, but Unagami is a pretty cool bad guy too when he was in Prime Empire. So I don't know, I could go either way on this one. Let's see who you guys vote for. The new poster is a serious No Way Home poster. Oh, for sure. I would be genuinely surprised if they didn't take any inspiration from No Way Home. That very much looks like a No Way Home poster. You got 5 bad guys there too. Five bad guys. Weren't there 5 bad guys in No Way Home and a 6th one that we just didn't see? Truth be told, I am super surprised about the mechanic being on that poster. The mechanic, did not expect to see him. So, both meh. I don't know. They're both all right. Like I said, they're both cool in their own way. I'm not crazy about either of these bad guys. Unagami and Kozu, kind of on the same level for me personally. Do I think season 16 is the final season? I don't, because we do have stuff confirmed for 2023. I just think that this season may be the final season with this core group of ninja. Maybe next season we can get a rebooted team or something like that, like a brand new ninja team maybe. I don't know. Crazy stuff's going to go down this season. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what exactly happens. So it seems like Unagami has won the poll here. Congratulations, Unagami fans. Why don't we conclude that poll? Unagami has a pretty solid lead over our good friend General Kozu, so why don't we go ahead and bump up the misunderstood baby, as some of you guys have called him before. I agree. He's just misunderstood. He's not really a bad guy. He just wants a hug. Just give him a hug, man. He'll turn into the little Pac-Man boy soon enough. Moving on to this side of the tier, we have ourselves a battle between Acronix and Cryptor. That is General Cryptor. Mindroid is on here somewhere too. Yeah, Mindroid is... Mindroid's over here fighting Nauticon in his first round, so we'll get to that eventually. Let's vote for, let's see, let's decide who we have here. Acronix and Cryptor. Okay, sounds good. Acronix and Cryptor kind of had a brain, whatever you call it there, brain meltdown. Who's better? I was like, which twin is this? I can never remember which twin is which. I have a bad thing about twins. Acronix versus... Who else did I just say? Who else did I just say? See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm having like a brain meltdown. Who else was there? Cryptor, that's who it was. Sorry about that, guys. Acronix versus Cryptor. Who's better? Take a vote. It was indeed Cryptor. I got you. Take a vote. Let's see. Use the movie translator. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, I think you got to use the new one or whatever. The Ninjago movie one. I know that's been a thing for a while. Want the Overlord to return so that he has more development. Maybe he knew the first Spinjitzu Master in the first realm. Yeah, I mean, that could always be the case too. If the Overlord will in fact come back in the next season though, which, chances are he definitely will, I think they will give him more backstory, which is good. I want to see more backstory. Yeah, Crux is the old dude. That's how you differentiate the two. Acronix is the young one. Crux is the old one. There you go. They're twins, but one of them is out of time. One of them spent 40 years alone. Can you imagine that? The entire time, all the way throughout those 40 years, you're like, man, one day my twin brother's going to return, and he's just not going to have aged a day. I'd be envious. It's kind of messed up, to be real with you guys. Let's see. Who's winning? Acronix is winning so far, and Cryptor has 32% of the votes. I like Cryptor, but I do agree Acronix is the better villain of these two, that's for sure. Smashed all the candy. Do you think Acronix would play Flappy Birds? Is that game still around, Flappy Bird, or is that like a little bit before y'all's time or whatever? Flappy Bird's not that old, is it? Can't be that old. Why don't we end off the poll? Seems like Acronix has won, so congratulations, Acronix fans. General Cryptor has been dethroned, unfortunately. I like Cryptor. I like the Ninjroids, but yeah, Acronix, he's probably the better character. Going back to our bracket, let's bump up Acronix boy, and let's move on over to the next round over here on this side of the bracket, in which we have a battle between Harumi and Scales, my old chum. Harumi and Scales. Sounds good. And we can do Prime Empire pictures. I saw somebody asking for Prime Empire before. Sure, why not? Harumi versus Scales. Okay, who's better? Who's the better character? We got ourselves Harumi, and we have ourselves Scales. Jade Princess versus Hypnobrai Leader. Take a vote as I take a sip of my beverage. There we go. Who's better? Take a vote, people. There we go. That is how you spell Scales, right? I know the Ninjago spelling is a little bit different from the actual word. Not sure if it's with a K or a C. I don't know. I've seen it spelt both ways. Who cares? It's like 7 years old, Flappy Bird. All right, I got you. Really didn't want Harumi to come back. Yeah, a lot of people don't want Harumi back. I mean, to be fair, her story arc was pretty much completed by the time she died in Hunted, so I don't know. Me personally, if they can come up with a good reason to bring her back, sure, why not? Why not bring Harumi back? She's a pretty cool character. I like her a lot. Your team Harumi. Yeah, it seems like Harumi's winning right now, with not a lot of people voting for your boy Scales. Seems like Scales needs more fans. There you go. Let's see, like them both. Yeah, me too. Scales is a pretty cool character. Harumi, though, I like Harumi a little bit more, I'd say. I'd personally vote for Harumi, to be honest with you guys. How dare she turn on Lloyd? Yeah, exactly. Wasn't here yesterday, didn't even know the stream was canceled. Worked out for me. There you go. Yeah, it was kind of a last-minute cancellation, so apologies yesterday for canceling the stream last minute. I was just about to start streaming, and then I saw on Twitter that the poster came out, and I was like, well, might as well do a video, and I did. So, you know, it's kind of a win-win. You guys get a new video, and I get to make a video. So it seems like Harumi won the poll. It's not really much of a competition between Harumi and our good friend Scales. So seems like to me Harumi won that one. So going back to our lovely, lovely bracket, let's bump up the lovely lady herself, Harumi, to the next round. There you go. How about that? Harumi has bested Scales. Moving on to this battle over here, we have another lovely lady in the form of Misdemeanor, and she's taking on Garmadon. Best boy versus not so much best girl. All right, let's see how this goes. Misdemeanor versus Garmadon. I can only imagine how well this is going to go for a certain fire lady. Let's see. Who's better? We have her. I'm just going to call her Miss D, because that's what they referred to her as in a recent Ninjago comic. And Garmadon. There we go. Miss D versus Mr. G. Who's going to stand victorious? Take a vote, people. Who's better? Can't imagine this one working out very much for our good friend Misdemeanor. Thank you, Frederick, for the subscription. I appreciate it. She's dead. Where's Harumi? She was crushed by a building, of course. Garmadon, king of the bad guys. He's pretty cool. Yeah, Garmadon is easily one of my favorite villains. He's one of the best, single-handedly. He's one of the best villains for sure. Misdemeanor needs everyone to know that she's single. I mean, sure. Why not, right? She's kind of cool. Not crazy about that hair, but, you know, whatever. She's kind of cool. Not my favorite Ninjago lady, though, that's for sure. Hello, what have I missed? Welcome to the stream. We are doing a villain tournament bracket, voting on bad guys, seeing who wins. Right now, in the current round, we have ourselves a battle between Misdemeanor and Lord Garmadon. It seems like Garmadon is winning. In fact, I think we can go ahead and say with confidence that Misdemeanor is not going to be catching up to Garmadon, so let's go ahead and end things off right there. Kind of a quick battle, but like I said, every single time the poll is kind of like that, where Garmadon has like a huge lead, or if someone has a huge lead, we'll just end it. You know, because like, what's the point? What's the point in waiting? So it seems like Garmadon has won. Garmadon's going to get bumped up to the next round. Moving on to this round over here. A couple more rounds to do in the first round. Maybe we'll get through all of these before the stream ends. Kilo versus Vex. That'll be the next round. Kylo Ren, whatever you want to call this guy, versus General Vex. That's going to be the next round here. General Vex or just Vex? I think I've heard it both ways, right? Who's better? We have ourselves Kilo. How do you spell that? I think it's 2 L's, right? 2 L's, O-W, perhaps. And Vex. All right. Take a vote. Who's better? Hate them both. I'm not crazy about Vex, but Kilo, I kind of like him. He's kind of cool. In small doses, keep in mind. I'm not crazy about him overall, but, you know, something about him is kind of intriguing, I guess you could say. He's kind of a big dude, too, so we don't really see a lot of those in the Ninjago universe. Who's Vex again? Vex is the guy from the Netherrealm that manipulated Zane into becoming the Ice Emperor. So, That's who General Vex is. Some would argue that Vex is kind of the real villain of the Ice chapter. I don't know. I still think the Ice Emperor did more than Vex did. But hey, all of that came from Vex, so whatever. You guys can argue about that in the chat if you wish. Season 2 pictures sounds good to me. Could go for some Season 2 right about now. Some of the original Ninjago content that we got there. Season 2 sounds good. Seems like Kilo already has a fair amount of the votes. Vex has 36, Kilo has 64. When we first dropped the poll, it seems like it was pretty even, but I feel like a lot more people have been voting for Kilo, obviously, because, you know, that's who's winning the poll. I think Harumi will be resurrected by the Overlord. I think if they will bring Harumi back, maybe they should do it like, say, for example, when the building fell on top of Harumi, maybe she wasn't dead immediately. Like the classic rule of like television and movies is like, oh, if you don't see a body, they're probably not dead. But then again, it's Ninjago. They probably couldn't show a body even if they wanted to. But what if she was rescued by somebody, like last minute before she eventually died? What if she was rescued, brought underground, and nursed back to health, and maybe she's just been recovering this whole time? All of these years, she's just been recovering. Maybe. Maybe that's what went down. I don't know. I guess we'll find out next season. So it seems like Kilo has won the poll there. Congratulations, Kilo. There you go, Kilo fans. Bada bing, bada boom. Going back to our screen capture. Let's bump up your boy Kilo. He has bested General Vex. There you go. And moving on to this next round, we have Samakai versus the Ice Emperor. Evil Zane versus Evil Bone Man. Sounds good to me. Evil Zane versus Evil Bone Man. Those are their official titles, of course. Who's better? We got ourselves a battle between, who did I say? Samakai and the Ice Emperor. There we go. Take a vote. Who's the better bad guy? Samakai or the Ice Emperor? There you go. Feel free to take a vote. I think the Overlord is collecting Vengestone to wipe out the powers of everybody in Ninjago, including Nia, leaving her human again with no powers and having her to become Samurai X once more. I mean, that could be what goes down. There's been some debate as to whether or not Vengestone could, I guess, cure Nia, bring her back to her human form. But if that were to happen, I could see why she would become Samurai X again. Because that's still a big mystery, too. Why exactly is Nia Samurai X again? Who knows? According to the set listings, we have a Samurai X mech, and it's certainly not Pixels, therefore it's got to be Nia's, unless there's a new Samurai X, a third iteration that comes out of nowhere. I don't know. Going to be interesting to see what goes down. Like I said, the season is going to be pretty crazy. Lots of unanswered questions. If Nia came in contact with Vengestone, would she just die? Good question. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what Vengestone would do to Nia in her current form. Maybe it would make it easier for her to switch back and forth? Perhaps. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. What exactly does Vengestone do to Nia? That's a good question. I imagine we'll find out at some point during Season 16, right? At some point. Let's see. What if the original Golden Weapons locations come back in Season 16? I'd be okay with that. Revisiting, like, the Caves of Despair, Fire Temple. Sure. Why not, right? If you can do it, why not do it? Seems like the Ice Emperor has defeated Samakai. I kind of like Samakai, to be honest with you. Samakai's a pretty cool bad guy. The Ice Emperor, though, I agree. He's a lot cooler. Haha, no pun intended. Get it? Because he's ice. Alright, going back to our bracket here before I keel over of exhaustion. Let's move up the Ice Emperor to the next round. There you go. Congratulations, Ice Emperor fans out there, for winning. Next up, this is a pretty interesting battle. We have ourselves Nauticon versus Mindroid. Battle of the Titans for sure right here. Nauticon versus Mindroid. That is the battle of the century by far, for sure. Who's better? If I could spell better correctly. Yes. We have ourselves Nauticon. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it. That is not how you spell it. Is this how you spell it? Yes, that's how you spell it. And Mindroid. All right. Nauticon versus Mindroid. Sounds good to me. Feel free to cast your judgment accordingly in the chat.
I would not want you to do this, brother.
And we have ourselves a $2 donation from Hybrid Lucas. What exactly is your message there, Hybrid Lucas? Garmadon should come back in the last season. I agree, Garmadon should come back in the last season. If this current season, if season 16 or whatever you want to call the next season, whatever, if that's going to be the final season with this group of characters, I can guarantee that Garmadon will be coming back. I imagine the ending of the Garmadon comic will probably tie into the next season in some way. I bet you we'll see him come back at some point. So, thank you very much, though, for the $2 donation there, Lucas. I appreciate ya. Still bugs me that Samakai never got a spinner. Yeah, me too. I wish Samakai did. Would have been a much better way to get Samakai's figure. That figure is pretty rare, but if it came out in a spinner, he would be less rare. I think the reason why they decided not to give Samakai a spinner, though, I feel like that figure might be a little bit too big for a spinner, right? Same deal as to why the Serpentine Generals never got spinners. Those figures don't really... they're not really compatible with the spinners, I guess you could say. At least according to my opinion, that's why they never got spinners. But surely they could have done Samakai differently, right? Maybe given him just 2 arms for the spinner? Who knows? Whatever, it works. I'm not a Ninjago designer. I don't know what goes down behind the scenes. Yeah, it seems like Nauticon is overthrowing Mindroid, much to the dismay of some folks in the chat. I know we have a lot of hardcore Mindroid fans out there, myself included. As I take a sip of my beverage here. Yeah, Nauticon seems to be winning. So why don't we go ahead and end off that poll? Let's go ahead and conclude that so we can move things along here. There we go. Nauticon has won. Yeah, Nauticon's a much better bad guy than Mindroid. In all seriousness, for sure, Nauticon is my preferred choice in that bracket. Moving on to the bracket, though. Speaking of brackets, moving back to our bracket, let's bump up the Jin King himself. There you go. He will be facing off against Kilo in the next round. Moving on to this battle over here, we have a battle between Moro and Klaus. There you go. Moro versus Klaus. All right, interesting battle there. Moro versus Klaus. Why do I feel like that's a battle that I kind of want to see, like in the TV show? Missed opportunity. I think that'd be a pretty cool battle. Who's better? We got ourselves Moro versus Klaus. Klausy Klaus. Moro v. Klaus. Bratty Child versus Awesome Sorcerer. I mean, yeah. Why not, right? Moro's just fighting on pure angst and aggression, while Klaus, you know, being an older gentleman, is actually taking some time into planning his moves. I think that could be a pretty cool battle to see, right? But who is better of these two, Moro or Klaus? And speaking of Moro, I saw some of you guys asking for Season 5 pictures earlier, so we can do some possession for a little bit. Sounds good to me. So, look at that poll. Oh my goodness, that's a huge gap. I didn't expect to see that big of a gap for this battle. What the heck? Moro is pretty much he dethroned Klaus. Like my brain can't comprehend that. I kind of like Klaus, to be honest with you. I'd probably vote for Klaus just between me and you. But Moro's pretty cool. I like Moro. I like Moro quite a bit. Why does everybody like Moro? No hate, just curious. I like him just because of his backstory. Like I said, I'm a big sucker for Ninjago history. Moro is a character that is very much involved with history. With that being said, he's kind of an angsty teenager, so I feel like a lot of the Ninjago fan base kind of relates to him, dare I say. I mean, back when I was 15, that's when Moro was first revealed. When I was 15, I was like, yeah, this guy, I can get behind him. He's pretty cool. Just wants everything handed to him in the world, but unfortunately, that's just not how the world works. And case in point here, Klaus lost to Moro by a pretty substantial margin. So it seems like Moro is going to be moving on to the next round there. Congratulations, Moro fans. I enjoy Moro too, I admit, but Klaus, I was kind of pushing to see him go a little further, but whatever. Moro still wins, and next round he will face off against the Ice Emperor. A couple more battles to get through here in the preliminary matchups. Next up, we have the Mechanic versus Chief Mamatis. Mamatis, I guess you could say he's kind of a bad guy. Kind of, sort of, maybe not really, who knows. Chief Mamatis, I don't know. Sure, whatever. Mechanic versus Mamatis. He was the antagonist of the island, but I'm not sure if you could consider him a bad guy. For the sake of simplicity, he's just on this list just to fill a spot. So who's better? Let's see. We have ourselves the Mechanic versus how do you spell Mamatis? Mamatis like that? Sure. The Mechanic or Mamatis? Take a vote. How old is Moro? Good question. He had to have been in maybe his late teens, early 20s by the time he finally perished in the Caves of Despair. I imagine him to be a little bit older than the ninja. So there you go. Yeah, take a vote. for this poll right here. See him more of a good guy because there was just a misunderstanding as to why the ninja were there. Yeah, exactly. Mamatis isn't really a bad guy per se. As I said, though, he's kind of the unofficial antagonist, quote unquote, of the island. I mean, in the sets, he was basically the big bad guy. So, whatever. It seems like the mechanic is going to win this one anyway. It seems like he's got more votes. So, like I said, just needed to fill a spot. Ronan was the true villain of the island. I almost thought about putting Ronan on this list, but I feel like for Ronan, you could argue that he's got history with the ninja and that he's more of an anti-hero. So I'm not sure if he belonged in the villain tier thing. But then again, neither does Mamatis really. So what do I know? I'm just a lowly YouTuber. Yes, the mechanic is winning, though. So why don't we go ahead and end off that poll. See if we can end it at the funny number. Oh, nope, jumped up to 74. We almost ended it at 69. Oh, no. But it seems like we ended at 74. Yeah, the mechanic won that battle. Not surprising. I like the mechanic a little bit more than Chief Mamatis. I agree with you guys there. The mechanic has been bumped up to the next round. Over here we have a battle between Kalmar and the Omega. Hey, there you go. Two like mainstay bad guys. You had two smaller bad guys. Now it's two big bad guys. Kalmar versus the Omega. Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and get that poll rolling. Kalmar versus Omega. Kalmar, Omega. Gotta do my best to remember who exactly is in this here. Kalmar, Omega. Let's see. Who's better? Take a vote, my lovely viewers. Take a vote. Would be pretty ticked off if you put Ronan. Still makes me mad. Hey, no worries. Yeah, I decided not to put Ronan. Like I said, I kind of see him more of an anti-hero, and plus him and the island, not a good thing. I agree. I agree. You are an upply YouTuber. There you go. I'm not a lowly YouTuber. I'm an upply YouTuber. Why'd you match up Pythor and Kalmar? The entire thing was generated via randomizer. So, again, these initial matchups are not my choice, but I do kind of like how some of them turned out. Should be pretty intriguing. Whenever I don't know something, I'm just a lowly YouTuber. Yeah, it's kind of my go-to. I like saying that, though. It's fun. Hi, I run a Ninjago channel. Oh, what's Ninjago? All right, well, I guess this conversation's over. When someone asks me what I do for a living. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, what do you make videos about, dude? I usually just say Lego, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like explaining what Ninjago is. Like, oh, Ninjago. Some people know. Most people do not. It seems like Kalmar is winning the poll here, having a quite significant lead over the Omega. The Omega and the Oni in general. The Oni, disappointing, man. We say it a lot, but it's true. They are really cool, though. Yeah, the Omega's design is 10 out of 10 top tier. His voice, personality, and the rest of the Oni as, like, a thing, 5 out of 10. Kind of disappointing, but the Omega's design, beautiful. That is a peak Ninjago design right there. Kalmar, though, I do agree is the better character all around, and it seems like you guys have voted for him to win this round. So Kalmar has stood victorious over the Omega. So moving on back to our lovely bracket. Kalmar gets bumped up to the next round. There you go. Congratulations, Octopus Man, or whatever you are, Kalmar. Who's Kalmar? The bad guy of Seabound, the most recent season to come out as of the time of streaming this right here. Next up, we have a battle between Reflectra and Asphira. Ooh, two lady villains. How about that? Reflectra and Asphira. For those of you guys that don't know who Reflectra is, she was the antagonist in the Sweat into the Goldies Ninjago Legacy reimagined short. So I kind of like her design. She's pretty cute. Let's see. Who's better? Reflectra versus Asphira. Yes, the Revenge Lady. We got Shiny Lady versus Revenge Lady. Feel free to take a vote. There we go. It seems like we're dropping a little bit of frames there, but we seem to be good now. There you go. Yeah, I think switching through all of these tabs is kind of causing the computer to freak out a little bit. Yeah, I'm seeing the lag on my end too, folks. I gotcha. It seems to be fine now, though, so we're good. Just kind of lagged a little bit there. Like I said, probably just because I'm swapping through tabs a lot on my computer, so, you know, sorry about that, but we seem to be fine now. Yes, the Revenge Lady. Reflectra. I kind of like Reflectra a little bit more, to be honest with you. I'd take her over Asphira. She's a lot better in my opinion. Let's see. Season 6 pictures. Skybound. Sure. Wait, didn't we do Skybound already, though? I thought we did Skybound already. Why don't we do Hunted? Because I saw some people asking for Season 9 earlier too, and I think we did Season 6 already towards the beginning of the stream. So why don't we switch on over to Ninjago Hunted for a while? Yeah, the computer doesn't understand. They're like, dude, you keep on switching through these tabs, man. What are you doing? Well, I have you know, computer, we're running a Ninjago tournament, and it's the tournament to end all tournaments. Who's the best bad guy? That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here, Mr. Computer Man. Yeah, we seem to be fine now, so, you know. Speaking of which, it seems like Asphira has won this round, which makes sense to me, to be honest with you. Even though Asphira is not really a good villain in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people know her as opposed to Reflectra. So Asphira has won. Congratulations, all of the lovely Asphira fans in the chat. And let's go ahead and switch things over back to our lovely bracket. There we go. And we'll bump up Snake Lady. There we go. How about that? Moving on to the final round in the preliminary matches, we have ourselves a battle between the Skull Sorcerer and Ultra Violet. The battle of the crazies, if I do say so myself. What were we on? Hunted. Yes, sounds good. Battle of the crazies. So why don't we go ahead and get that rolling? We got the Skull Sorcerer versus Ultra Violet. Who's better? Oops, I spelt better way wrong. Believe it or not. That can indeed happen. Skull Sorcerer and Ultra Violet. There we go. All right, take a vote, people. Who is better, Ultraviolet or the Skull Sorcerer? Take a vote. Find Ultraviolet very interesting. Think she's cool. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like Ultraviolet. She kind of reminds me of like Harley Quinn. I think a lot of people make that comparison. She's Ninjago's Harley Quinn. I don't know. I think she's fine in small doses for sure. Not my favorite Sons of Garmadon in general, but still, she's cool. You know, she's all right. I like her design. Pretty cool. The Skull Sorcerer. Yeah, I agree. He's probably the better character of these two. The Green Goblin versus Harley Quinn. Yeah, there you go. Ninjago's Green Goblin versus Ninjago's Harley Quinn. I'd say maybe the Skull Sorcerer is indeed Ninjago's Green Goblin. Not really in terms of like a role, but maybe in terms of like design. You know, he's kind of like a green flying bad guy. So, you know how it goes, right? Yeah, just end the poll. He won already. Yeah, might as well. Seems like the Skull Sorcerer has already bested Ultraviolet, so why don't we go ahead and conclude that one right there. And with that being said, we have ourselves all of the matches in the first round concluded, with the Skull Sorcerer beating Ultraviolet. So yeah, guys, this is what we have going on here. Let's see, who do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 right here. So the top 16. Just to recap, we have ourselves, let's see, we got Crux versus Overlord. That's going to be happening probably in tomorrow's stream. I think this is going to wrap it up for the bracket today. So Crux versus Overlord, then we're going to have Chen versus Pythor, then Unagami versus Harumi, then we have Chronix versus Garmadon, Kilo versus Nauticon, Ice Emperor versus Moro, and then finally the Mechanic versus Asphira, and then Kalmar versus the Skull Sorcerer. That's going to be a pretty interesting battle. So like I said, that'll pretty much wrap it up for the bracket today. I think that's a good place to pause. Like I said, we're going to be continuing this in tomorrow's stream. That's going to be the plan for tomorrow, is to continue this and find out who would ultimately win. Screenshot it. Just did. I saved it already. So we are good to go for tomorrow's stream. So if you guys want to find out who wins, feel free to come back tomorrow, because that's what we're going to be doing in tomorrow's stream. In the meantime, guys, we only have a couple of minutes left in the stream. We still have about maybe 5 minutes left, so why don't we just spend some time hanging out if you guys would like. We can spend some time just kind of chit-chatting about whatever you guys want to talk about. I think that'll pretty much do it for the bracket, though, so if you're here just for that, thanks for joining. We will continue that tomorrow. Continuing on, though, we have ourselves a... Yeah, we have a $1.99 from Nexo. I was gonna say we have a donation there. Nexo, there you go. Do I have a Discord server for Ninjago peeps? I do have a Discord server. Unfortunately, I'm not in it very often. In fact, I don't really care for Discord as like a platform personally. But you can indeed find the link to it in the description of the stream if you want to go ahead and join it. Like I said, though, I'm not in there very often, so keep that in mind. But I do have a server. But like I said, I personally just do not use Discord all that much. So thank you, Nexo, for the $1.99, though. I appreciate it. Unlocking another cursed woo. Remember Pizza Time? I do remember Pizza Time. Yes, I do remember Pizza Time. But I kind of liked Cursed Woo a little bit more, though. I kind of appreciate this donation sound a little more. It's funny, and it scares me every time it goes off. So, you know, keeps me alert and active. So if you guys want to scare me, again, Super Chats unlock Cursed Woo. But you guys do what you need to do. Ever play The Sims? I have never played any of the Sims games, no. Some people in my friend group have played The Sims, and I've been around them when they've been playing back in high school and whatnot, but I have never personally played The Sims myself. So I hear you can do some pretty crazy stuff in that game, though. Interesting. Your computer when you switch back and forth too much. Yeah, exactly. I have a feeling that my computer was kind of getting overwhelmed as well, and it was like, come on, dude, wrap it up. But we got through the first rounds today, so that's good. Went through the preliminary matches and whatnot. So tomorrow we do the top 16 and continue from there. What is the top 16? Is that no, that's not quarterfinals, is it? I'm pretty sure that's top 8, right? Yeah, top 8 is quarterfinals. I'm stupid, don't mind me. Season 8 pictures. Sure, we can do Season 8 for a little bit. Sons of Garmadon sounds good to me. Let's see. Really like how the 4 golden weapons are covered in crystals. I especially like the shurikens of ice design and nunchucks of lightning. Yeah, me too. They look really cool. All of the golden weapons look fantastic, to be honest with you. I think they're all super cool in my opinion. I kind of wonder, though, what the crystals do. Do they drain the power? Do they corrupt the power? Maybe they corrupt. That's what I'm going with right now. Who do I hope wins the brackets? Well, some of my favorite bad guys are there, like Master Chen is there, Garmadon's there, the Overlord's there. I'm kind of hoping that Garmadon will win. I mean, Garmadon is a pretty popular character, so if he does win, I would not be surprised. But, you know, I'm kind of pushing for Garmadon, to be real with you guys. But I guess we'll find out tomorrow who wins, because tomorrow we will conclude that bracket. That'll be tomorrow's project, going through that bracket and concluding it. So there we go. Cursed Woo made me jump once. Yeah, everyone gets woken up by Cursed Woo. It's like a monitor for everybody. It's like, wake up. Wake up, gosh heck. Favorite pilot moment. I really enjoy the bit where the ninja first meet. That's always been one of my favorite Ninjago moments. Thank you, Lucas, for the subscription as well. But I do appreciate the bit where they all first meet. And, you know, they're starting to get to know each other. Kai's getting introduced to the 3-man team. That's a pretty cool moment. And Kai's just kind of like, okay, these are the people that I'm going to be spending basically the entire rest of my life with. But they warmed up to each other pretty quickly, didn't they? They're all such good friends now. Good friends, good family. Want Morrow to win. Yeah, Morrow's a pretty popular character too. I think Morrow has the potential to win as well. To be real with you guys, a lot of the bad guys that made it to the top 16, a lot of them are fan favorites. So I feel like a lot of them do have potential to win. I'm sure we'll see some very, very close matches in tomorrow's stream. Fingers crossed for that. With only a couple of minutes left in the stream though, you guys, let's turn things over to rapid fire questions. Anything that I can answer in just a quick sentence or two, that'll be a pretty good way to round out the stream here today. So if you guys have some quick questions that I can answer, just super quick, why don't we go ahead and do that for you guys? What did I think of the Sons of Garmadon while everyone was freaking out about the redesigns? I remember seeing the redesigns for the first time and thinking, oh wow, hope they explain that. But I really enjoyed Sons of Garmadon first time I watched through it. I remember really liking it. So there you go. Do I like coffee? If so, cold or hot? I'm not a coffee drinker personally. Coffee kind of hurts my tummy, makes me feel sick. So I kind of avoid coffee. For caffeine, I've been using a lot of like diet or 0-calorie sodas because I do need caffeine to get through the day. But I don't really drink coffee. So, and I try not to drink a diet or 0-calorie soda every day either because that also hurts my body. But no, coffee and me, we don't get along. Can you give me an idea for a Ninjago mock? Ooh, I've always loved seeing like fans build things that are from the show that I've never gotten, like actual builds, like Garmadon's mech from season 2, the 4-armed mech. That one's awesome in my opinion. I think people that design mechs like that are super cool. So maybe Garmadon's 4-armed mech. Maybe that one. See if that could work. Do I think Pythor won't die, but it will instead be reformed? Ooh, interesting. Maybe. I imagine Pythor, it's kind of difficult to tell where Pythor will be in the next season. Because we've seen Pythor kind of flip-flop back and forth from good to bad. Maybe he'll just become a complete good guy towards the end of the season. Who knows? Do I watch Amphibia? I'm not sure what that is. So, no. Is that like Euphoria, but for amphibians? I don't know what Amphibia is. So, do enlighten me in the chat, though. Curious to see what exactly that is. Do I miss the old Season 1 look for Nia? Not really. I kind of prefer her newer designs, to be honest. The old design is iconic for sure, but I was never crazy about that haircut. You know? I like her new hair a lot. So I will say the new design is better for Nia in my own opinion. Do I think the true villain of Ninjago is Wu? He picked up some random teen and forced them to risk their lives fending off problems that he was too old to fight. I suppose you could probably look at Master Wu as being the true bad guy across all of Ninjago. I mean, when you think about it, yeah, he did just kind of recruit a bunch of kids to take care of his problems for him, so yeah, what the heck, Master Wu? What's going on there? Got some explaining to do. Rick or Morty? I prefer Rick. Morty kind of annoys me at some point. He's like, oh geez, Rick. I don't know what to do, Rick. Help me, Rick. And Rick's just like, I'm Pickle Rick. Morty, try Szechuan sauce. Let's go hit up McDonald's. That's pretty much how Rick and Morty goes, right? From what I recall from seeing a few episodes. Do I think Garmadon will be good again? Oh, for sure. I think Garmadon's going to play the good side if he returns in Season 16. I doubt he will be a bad guy. Like I said, in his comic right now, we're kind of seeing him struggle with whether or not he's good or bad. I imagine that comic will end with him making a solid decision, and then that'll lead into Season 16. So, in my opinion, that's what's going to go down. What would I say if Kai ever took off his Band-Aid? I'd be like, there you go. You finally grew up, man. You realize that the Band-Aid doesn't look cool after all, and you decided to remove it. That is a good personal choice to make. I don't know. Yeah, Kai wears that Band-Aid because he thinks it looks cool, so, you know. Do I miss Cole's soft eyes? I do. I do sometimes miss Cole's old soft eyes. Kind of a standout characteristic of his design back in, especially the Oni trilogy. But nowadays, we don't really see that anymore. It's kind of disappointing. Oh, no. Why don't we do Season 3 pictures? Sounds good. We'll end off on Season 3 for a little bit. What is that noise? Oh, it's my computer. Freaking out. I was like, what is that loud noise? And my computer's like, you gotta end off the stream, man, before I explode. In a few minutes, dude, you'll make it. Chill. It's like the brave little toaster, but with a laptop. Who do I hope returns in Season 16? Again, I'm hoping for Garmadon. We didn't see Garmadon on the poster. We do have Garmadon in the sets, though. But again, those sets are kind of questionable as to whether or not they are applicable to Season 16. I'm hoping for Garmadon. I'm hoping he comes back at some point. That would be awesome to see. Fingers crossed for Garmadon's grand return. Amphibia is a show about people who get stuck in a world of frogs, newts, and toads via magical music box. Yeah, I have not heard about that before. I have never heard of that show. Sounds interesting, though. A world of frogs? Sounds awesome. Why not? Let's go to the frog world. Sounds good to me. But no, I have not seen Amphibia, to answer your question there. Favorite side character? I like a lot of the Elemental Masters, Skylar especially. She's super cool. Recently, Maya pretty much made a name for herself after she appeared in Seabound, so good stuff there. Yeah, maybe Skylar or Maya, personally. It's a Disney show? Gotcha. Wonder if it's on the Disney Plus. Might have to give it a whirl at some point. Do I like Jay's freckles? Yeah, they're okay. Not really, the freckles don't really match with the older Jay character, to be honest, but the design, it's grown on me over the years. It doesn't bother me anymore. I just kind of prefer the older Jay design. It looks older as well, you know? New Jay looks younger for some reason, even though he's supposed to be older. With that being said, you guys, why don't we answer one more question before we wrap things up today? We are almost out of time, so let's get one more question in the chat before we conclude today's lovely live stream. Let's get one more question in the chat before we end things off today, as I try to crack my wrists, because my arms are kind of cramping a little bit. One more question. I'm going to take a sip of my beverage in the meantime, my beverage. And then we'll find a question and answer, and then we'll call it quits from there. Sounds good. Oh, there we go. Thoughts on Mistake being Wu and Garmadon's mom. Mistake being Wu and Garmadon's mother. I don't know about that. She might be a little too young, right? I mean, part of me thinks that Garmadon and Wu are, like, significantly older than Mistake, but Mistake is an Oni after all, right? So maybe that would have worked. I mean, we know that Mistake was part of the Oni fleet that followed the first Spinjitzu Master back, so I guess you could say that maybe she is older than Wu and Garmadon. maybe she could be their mother. Why not, right? The first Spinjitzu master fell in love with an Oni and spawned 2 children. That could be pretty enjoyable, right? I don't know, didn't really think about it like that before. Could be cool. I don't know, but Mistake is dead, so maybe we'll find out one day. Probably not anytime soon. With that being said, you guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go over our streaming schedule one last time before we wrap things up today. We stream Monday through the Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. And as always, I will provide you guys with daily updates. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream, I will let you guys know via my community tab. Not the smoothest outro that I've ever done, but hey, it is what it is. That'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream here today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get some hugs in the chat. Sounds good. I like the hugs, so let's get out some hugs. There you go. Enjoy those hugs. Don't spend them all in one place. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Once again, tomorrow we're going to be continuing the villain bracket, finding out who the big winner is. We're going to be concluding that tomorrow, so if you want to see who wins that, feel free to swing on back tomorrow. I hope to see you there. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this one. You guys are always welcome here whenever you can be here, and I appreciate you guys being here today. Thanks for all the hugs in the chat as well. Beautiful. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hopefully you had fun today. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you guys again later. Peace. And really quick, thank you, Miraculous Mr. Bug, for subscribing. Got you right at the end there. I got you.